Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reading out of the Bible. I'm going to be reading out of specific parts in the Bible, specific books. Going to be reading some parts from Genesis, Job, Exodus, Judges, Joshua, 1 Samuel 7, 1 Samuel 17, 1 Kings 18, 2 Kings 2, 1 to 18, Isaiah 9, 6, Matthew 1, 18 to 2, 11, Matthew 4, 1 to 11, Mark 2, 1 to 12, Mark 4, 35 to 5:24, Mark 5, 38 to 6:29, Mark 6, 30 to 44, Mark 6, 45 to 52, John 8, 2 to 11, John 9, 1 to 10, John 9, 1 to 10, 21, John 11, Luke 23, 26 to 52, Luke 24, 13 to 32, and Luke 24, 33 to 53. I know this is going to end up being a two-parter, but I wanted to share some of the most awesome things that God has done that's written in the Bible. And because, well, this is how awesome that the real-life God is. Okay, so let's start in Genesis. Let's start about him creating all of everything. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. You see that? God is so powerful, he literally spoke light into being, and it became. He literally said, "Let there be light," and there was light. That means he literally said, "Let there be light," and then light appeared. He created light. And then he separated the light from the darkness. See? God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. And there was evening and there was morning, the second day. So God created the sky, and he separated the ocean from the sky. He literally created the sky. It says, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." Water comes from the sky too. See that? God called the vault sky. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. So God created land. Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. So God spoke dry ground into being, and it became. He literally spawned dry ground. You know, the grass and rocks and dirt and sand. He created it by speaking it into being, and it became. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. Literally created apples, oranges, bananas, strawberries, watermelon, whatever, fruits, vegetables, all that. Spawned it all into being, created all of it. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night." Now this is interesting. Listen to this. This is really awesome. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. So you know what that means, right? The greater light to govern the day, that's the sun. Okay? And the lesser light to govern the night, that is the moon. And then after he created the sun and the moon, then he created the stars. So he made the sun to be the greater light during the day, and then he created the moon to be the lesser light during the night. Because the moon gives off light too. And so do the stars. You see? And if you go back and actually listen, this is what it says. It says, "And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." He created time right there too, for us to be able to tell time. You see, God is outside of time, but he created a way for us to be able to tell time for us humans. So he created the sun and the moon and the stars for us to be able to tell the difference between night and day. When is it going to be lunchtime? When is it breakfast? When is it dinner? You know, like he created time itself. Okay? And then it says right here, "And God said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. So God created great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day." So he created sharks, whales, puffer fish. He created, you know, tiger sharks and eels and shrimp and crab and lobster and all those other delicious fishes that he created. All those things and all the seafood, and he created the chickens and penguins and seagulls and pigeons and cockatoos and whatever other birds that, you know, I can't think of all of them, but, you know, like he created every bird, every creature. You created whales and clownfish and all these different creatures that live in the ocean to this day. "And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals." So livestock, I mean, obviously that would be like, you know, cows, horses, and, you know, bulls, and like, you know, pigs, and, you know, sheep, goats, whatever else, you know, livestock, right? And then, you know, the creatures that move along the ground, that would be like lizards and snakes and all that stuff, right? And then the wild animals too, that would be like hyenas and lions and bears and, you know, all that stuff too. And it was so, God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Key word in that. Listen, it says, so God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Now, keep in mind, that also brings up a good point. That's also later on in the Bible. Gotta go to. Oh. Now, I'm going to read from John. It says right here, keep in mind what I just read in Genesis. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's referring to Jesus. Jesus is the Word of God. Now, hold on. Here we go. I'm going to Colossians. Okay, for he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. The Son, referring to Jesus, is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. And he is the head of the body, the church. He is the beginning and the firstborn from among the dead, so that in everything he might have the supremacy. For God was pleased to have all his fullness dwell in him, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through his blood shed on the cross. See, Jesus is the Word of God. So he's both, yes, he is the Son of God, but he is also God as well. Now I'm going to go to Job and read something else that I'll find it. Oh, passed it. Um, okay, I'm reading Job 38. It says, Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. He said, Who is this that obscures my plans with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Tell me, if you understand, who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched out a measuring line across it? On what were its footings set? Or who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy, who shut up the sea behind doors, when it burst forth from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment, and wrapped it in thick darkness, when I fixed limits for it, and set its doors and bars in place, when I said, this far you may come and no farther. Here is where your proud waves halt. Have you ever given orders to the morning, or shown the dawn its place, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it? The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. The wicked are denied their light, and their up upraised arms broken. Have you journeyed to the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been shown to you? Have you seen the gates of the deepest darkness? Have you comprehended the vast expanses of the earth? Tell me, if you know all this, what is the way to the abode of light, and where does darkness reside? Can you take them to their places? Do you know the paths to their dwellings? Surely you know, for you were already born. You have lived so many years. Have you entered the storehouses of the snow, or seen the storehouses of the hail, which I reserve for times of trouble, for days of war and battle? What is the way to the place where the lightning is dispersed, or the place where the east winds are scattered over the earth? Who cuts a channel for the torrents of rain, and a path for the thunderstorm, to water a land where no one lives, an uninhabited desert, to satisfy a desolate wasteland, and make it sprout with grass? Does the rain have a father, who fathers the drops of dew, from whose womb comes the ice, who gives birth to the frost from the heavens? When the waters become hard as stone, when the surface of the deep is frozen, can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loosen Orion's belt? Can you bring forth the constellations in their seasons? Or lead out the bear with its cubs? Do you know the laws of the heavens? Can you set up God's dominion over the earth? Can you raise your voice to the clouds and cover yourself with a flood of water? Do you send the lightning bolts on their way? Do they report to you? Here we are. Who gives the ibis wisdom, or gives the rooster understanding? Who has the wisdom to count the clouds? Who can tip over the water jars of the heavens? When the dust becomes hard and the clods of earth stick together, do you hunt the prey for the lioness and satisfy the hunger of the lions when they crouch in their dens, or lie in wait in a thicket? Who provides food for the raven when its young cry out to God and wander about for lack of food? Do you know when the mountain goats give birth? Do you watch when the doe bears her fawn? Do you count the months till they bear? Do you know the time they give birth? They crouch down and bring forth their young. Their labor pains are ended. Their young thrive and grow strong in the wilds. They leave and do not return. Who let the wild donkey go free? Who untied its ropes? I gave it the wasteland as its home, the salt flats as its habitat. It laughs at the commotion in the town. It does not hear a driver's shout. It ranges the hills for its pasture and searches for any green thing. Will, will the wild ox contend to serve you? Will it stay by your manger at night? Can you hold it to the furrow with a harness? Will it till the valleys behind you? Will you rely on it for its great strength? Will you leave your heavy work to it? Can you trust it to haul in your grain and bring it to your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich flap joyfully, though they cannot compare with the wings and feathers of the stork. She lays her eggs on the ground and lets them warm in the sand, unmindful that a foot may crush them, that some wild animal may trample them. She treats her young harshly as if they were not hers. She cares not that her labor was in vain, for God did not endow her with wisdom or give her a share of good sense. Yet when she spreads her feathers to run, she laughs at horses. She laughs at horse and rider. Sorry. Do you give the horse its strength, or clothe its neck with a flowing mane? Do you make it leap like a locust, striking terror with its proud snorting? It paws fiercely, rejoicing in its strength, and charges into the fray. It laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. It does not shy away from the sword. The quiver rattles against its side, along with the flashing spear and lance. In frenzied excitement, it eats up the ground. It cannot stand still when the trumpet sounds. At the blast of the trumpet, it snorts, "Aha!" It catches the scent of battle from afar, the shout of commanders and the battle cry. Does the hawk take flight by your wisdom and spread its wings toward the south? Does the eagle soar at your command and build its nest on high? It dwells on a cliff and stays there at night. A rocky crag is its stronghold. From there it looks for food. Its eyes detect it from afar. Its young ones feast on blood, and where the slain are, there it is. The Lord said to Job, will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him. Then Job answered the Lord, I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Twice, but I will say no more. Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. Brace yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you discredit my justice? Would you condemn me to justify yourself? Do you have an arm like God's? And can your voice thunder? And can your voice thunder like his? Then adorn yourself with glory and splendor, and clothe yourself in honor and majesty. Unleash the fury of your wrath. Look at all who are proud and bring them low. Look at all who are proud and humble them. Crush the wicked where they stand. Bury them all in the dust together. Shroud their faces in the grave. Then I myself will admit to you that your own right hand can save you. Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. What strength it has in its loins, what power in the muscles of its belly. Its tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of its thighs are close knit. Its bones are tubes of bronze. Its limbs like rods of iron. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker can approach it with his sword. The hills bring it their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plants it lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotuses conceal it in their shadow. The poplars by the stream surround it. A raging river does not alarm it. It is secure, though the Jordan should surge against its mouth. Can anyone capture it by the eyes, or trap it and pierce its nose?